Were you a teenager at the time?
Yes, sir.
Were you threatened?
When?
If you tell anybody that this has happened, or if you tell anybody that this happened, something might happen to you or
He
someone.
did.
He did.
Yeah, he out of here.
I guess I'll leave that alone.
That ain't funny, but you know they took a long pause there. But that's some serious business, Moyana. I'm gonna let you chime in on that first.
Hey, look, I love humanity, but that man, when he said he did, I felt it. He in the ground where he belong. I totally agree. You know, Kevin Gates been saying a lot of crazy stuff. You know, I don't follow him that much, but when he said that, I felt that because we have grown people out here running around doing crazy stuff, mentally twisted because they were touched by adults who knew what they were doing, who were supposed to be protecting them.
Yes.
Kids are the future.
Yes.
Kids are no. You know, so, you know, back where I'm from, you know, you touch kids, they're going to get a tire, they're going to put gas in there, put it around your neck, and light it up.
Damn.
As they should.
As they should.
As they should. Kids are a no. You
Off
don't touch
limits.
kids. You dig what I'm saying? You deserve to be in the ground. So when he said, you know, he did, that's where he should be. That's what
Yeah.
I believe in. You know, when we talk about, you know, the death penalty and all of that, you touch kids and there's evidence that that's what you do. What's our future gonna look like? That's how I
Exactly.
feel about that. I ain't got not much to say about that. You
Because
know?
it's heartbreaking. It's disgusting. I've seen a lot of people say that explains his behavior. You know, that explains why he act the way he is and why he say some of the things he say and do some of the things he do because he had been, you know, molested. And as they was doing that interview, I was curious, like, you know, was he molested by a woman or a man? But he made it very clear that it was a man. And you know, it's really sad. I had a conversation with a friend, and a friend like, who could do something like that? What be wrong with people? Like, why would you even want to touch a kid? Kids are innocent. And I had to explain to them that a lot of people don't understand is demons are real. You know, demons are real, and a lot of people don't believe in it because they make it seem like it's just this old, big, scary monster coming to get you in your dreams, or, you know, they make it seem like it's something that it's not. You know, people are every day being demonically possessed, you know, and us as people, we open up certain windows or certain portals, you know, to be able to come into covenant with those kind of demons. But demons are real, and when humans or when people do things that are unexplainable, that is not of human nature, that is not of character. So if you going around messing with kids or whatever you're doing that we don't understand as normal human beings, that's not of human nature. That's not even of human second nature. So the only thing that makes sense to me is these people who do things like that or worse. And in a lot of cases we've seen where people just did some of the most craziest things. I feel like those are demons attacking them. That they're being demonically possessed to even do that kind of shit because it don't make sense. It just don't make sense. That's not human nature. That's not of human nature. So it's scary. You know, it's scary, and you know, us as people, we do need to be more aware. You know, and I was, you know, referring to the guy who stabbed the girl on a train for no reason.
Right.
Some people is being demonically possessed. Kids killing kids. Kids raping kids. It is. We are every day doing things that, you know, make ourselves accessible to, you know, demons coming in and controlling our actions, you know. And it does get scary. But I pray for that brother, you know, and I pray for anybody who's had to deal with something like that because it's heartbreaking, it's scary, and it's sick. It is absolutely sick.
And I got to tell y'all this, like, Y'all gotta watch the people around you, right? The people around your kids, cause the thing about that is now I've worked with kids because that's my profession. You know, I'm in social work and all that.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is a lot of these things come from people that are close, a family member,
Yep,
somebody
always.
that's around them kids all the time because they work their way into gaining favor and the kids trusting them and they abuse that. So we
Yeah.
have a lot of sick individuals amongst us. So you have to watch who you live your kids with. You know, it could be a coach, it could be a neighbor, it could be an uncle, it could be an auntie. We have to be careful and you have to be very diligent and you have to pay attention and you have to make sure that you are very aware of what's going on. And
Exactly.
you also have to have conversation with your kids. I mean, I got a 16-year-old daughter and I told her,
Yeah, for sure.
I said, listen, anybody ever touch you, you tell your mama, you tell me. Even if it's me. You know what I'm saying? That should never happen. And you got to have these conversations with your kids from early and let them know that it's always going to be somebody around. They're getting too friendly, and you got to have those conversations because
Yeah.
this is happening far too often.
It
and
is.
we realize, and a lot of it, believe it or not, goes untalked about, and people don't even talk about it. And psychologically, that's why you have a lot of people acting out because a lot of this stuff is suppressed, and it comes
Right.
up later on in life when somebody married in a relationship, and you wonder why somebody just overly promiscuous and they just angry all the time, or they can't get in a relationship. Why they feel awkward when somebody try to touch them? This, and we
Yeah.
call them weirdos. But if you had a conversation with these people, man, something happened to them. Shout outs to Kevin Gates for putting it out there
Yeah.
and being brave enough to even have that conversation.
Yes, that took some bravery. It did. It really
Word.
did. I hope that he can heal from that. You know, it's really sad. I was unaware of that. You know, a lot of people said that they knew it, and you know, he talked about it in his music. But you know, it does make sense, and I hope he heals from that because from what I see, I do see a broken man. I do see a man who is hiding behind, you know, multiple women, lust, sex. He's coping in a whole lot of different ways to obviously get through some childhood trauma. So I hope he seeks help. That is a sad situation, but let us know what y'all think. Chime in on the topics if y'all, you know, got something y'all want to say about that. Do y'all think that, you know, going through those kind of traumas, childhood traumas, will affect your behavior in adulthood going forward if you have not had the opportunity to heal from that, through, whether if it's through religion or through the church or community or through therapy. Is that something that will affect you in your adulthood going forward?
Right. And I feel like one of the things that I did in the past working with kids that have gone through that, or kids that I suspect are going through that, when you're doing assessments, you know, you got YouTube out here for kids.
Yeah.
You can sit them down. It could be on a weekend. Sit your kids down. Could be a little boy, a little girl. Watch videos. There's kid-friendly videos on YouTube that explain situations like that in a kid-friendly way. If you feel uncomfortable on how you can't even get the conversation started about inappropriate behavior from, you know, adults when dealing with kids. You know, there's a lot of material on, you know, on YouTube. Like, you can just watch a video, how you feel about that,
Right.
and the kids are gonna be able to consume it in a way different to how you could, because it's a difficult subject,
It
right?
is
Because
very
even
difficult.
talking to your kid about it, because you don't want to put that in their mind,
Right.
Because you it's a no. You know, talking about it
Yeah.
is crazy anyway.
Yeah.
But
It's
there's
important.
sick people out there, so hey, you know, your offense is your defense.
Yes, it's
Sometimes.
important. It's important to talk about that, no matter how uncomfortable it is. You know, we as adults, we have plenty uncomfortable conversations with spouses and people that we deal with friends. So we definitely should take in consideration how important it is to have those uncomfortable conversations with your children all the time. All the time. Be careful with who you let keep your kids, you know. And another thing that he said in that interview is that his mom didn't believe him. And that has to be a hurtful feeling to know that somebody is abusing you and your own mother, the only person you know to protect you, doesn't believe you.
And that's common.
That's way too common in the black community. Way too common in the black community, that the parents don't believe them. Well, typically the mom don't believe the child, and in this case, him being a little boy and him to bringing that to his mom and the mom not believing him, making me think that it was the mom's sibling, it was the mom's brother or the mom's dad or, somebody close to the mom to where
Always somebody close.
it's always somebody close, yeah, to where she wouldn't believe him. So, it's a sad situation. Praying for that brother. I hope he heal from that, get the help he need, whether if it's therapy, whether if it's, community, whether if it's God, get the help he needs so that he can truly heal from that.
Right.
I can only imagine. It's a sad situation.
I didn't even want to talk about that.
So, what y'all think happened to the dude that died? Like, what y'all think happened?
I think he killed him.
Yeah.
You think Kevin Gates did?
Yeah, I think Kevin Gates got him killed.
I think
Or he killed him, or not. Probably he didn't kill him, but he probably got him killed.
Because he said his mama didn't believe him.
Right.
So he was a teenager. So you think he killed him as a teenager, or he waited until later to kill him, or he just died from natural causes?
I don't think he died from natural causes. Just from the way that he responded, the way he said, "Oh, he did."
Well, he didn't die from natural causes, boy. He died from consequences.
Yeah, I think he definitely died from consequences. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how old Kevin Gates was when the man died. But obviously, even if he was a teenager and he got, of age to understand that I got to kill him, then, he probably did. He probably did do something or had something to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't he? He's a man now. He's a man. And you think I'm about to let you walk this, or as a man, you about to, as a man, like, you're not gonna let this man still think that it's okay for you. Kevin Gates said himself, he'll never do that to another kid.
All right, I got two more questions. All right, so check this out. One, so what y'all doing? Somebody do that to y'all kid? Y'all killing them, or y'all just gonna get justice in the court, or y'all just gonna let it go?
I can't say on live TV.
Me either. I ain't answering that on live now.
I can't.
I ain't
I'm
answering
too
that on
smart
live.
to know the laws. I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth on that too. I ain't. But justice will get served.
All right, cool. Okay, my second question.
I don't care.
See, me personally, let me tell you my opinion. It's an age requirement to what I'm gonna do. You feel me? If my son a teenager and he let a nigga put his meat in his cheeks, nigga, that's on you. You too old to let a nigga put his meat in your cheeks. Because by the time I was 11 years old and somebody tried me like that, I was going to fight to the death.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Like, ain't nobody putting no meat in no cheeks, or I don't want to see your meat, you ain't making me touch your meat.
Right.
You feel me? And Kevin Gates for being big gangster.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
nigga, what? Hey.
But what if it was forced to do it? What if he was like,
Nigga,
you know,
gotta kill me. You hear me?
Yeah.
You gotta kill me before
Yeah.
you do that.
But-
I
that
can't
makes
go back.
sense.
I can't go back to my daddy and tell him that happened.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
You
feel
got
it.
no.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But
I feel
you gotta,
that.
But you gotta understand, kids are kids, y'all. For me, it's like we're supposed to protect our kids, and some kids, like, depending on how you grew up, like, some kids, people mature differently. Some people, he probably a kid, he ain't even know what was going on.
At 13 years old? 'Cause that's
At
when you
13
turn
years
That's
teenager.
what he
old,
said.
something.
He
He said teenager.
it happened at 13.
Nigga, you in high school.
Yeah, no.
Some
Hey,
people-
I ain't trying to
Yeah,
talk bad on the victim.
right,
But
right.
me personally, in high school, bro, I was grown.
No, that's
You
real.
feel me? I started driving in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You feel me? Like, hey.
You ain't-
but
but
you
you-
gotta understand that's a special situation. Not everybody gonna be like
But
that.
the crazy part about it is a lot of people go through that around that age though. A lot of people go through it around 13 and 14 and 15, old enough to know, Now if it was to happen at that age, it's like you at a certain age as a kid, you should know what's right and what's wrong. I feel like at that certain age, at 13, 14, 15, you should have the maturity level to at least tell. If it does happen, like I couldn't imagine it happening to me, and I couldn't imagine it. But if it does happen, I'm telling.
Yeah,
But-
I
but-
think
but-
it's different for girls too. Like, if it's my daughter at 13, like, a grown man will overpower her.
Or he can
But-
manipulate her.
Yeah, you can manipulate her. You know what I'm saying? But a guy, especially because everybody look at Kevin Gates as a gangster, so I can't imagine him just folding like that. Unless the other nigga was been a real gangster himself too. Like
Right.
I don't know.
Because I don't think he said it was forceful.
Yeah, because y'all are forgetting that some of these dudes who do this to kids, they groom them.
Yeah,
it's not something that happened overnight.
There you go.
He could
There
have
you
started
go.
by taking them to the store.
There you go.
You know, saying I'm gonna show you how to ride a bike, and then he
That's
start
it.
like, oh, let me help you, put you on the bike, and let me get you some candy, and
That's
then
the one.
and
Yep.
then it could start with a little hug, and then over some time, and before you know it, because you got to understand, he 13, that's a grown man. And he know what he doing. The kid don't know what he doing. Before you know it, it's like, oh, I got played. This what happened. And before you know it, and some of the times, some of the biggest gangsters and some of the most violent people I've come across in my life have been molested. And he made them that way. Made them so violent to where they don't even have regard for certain things. And their tolerance levels is, when they doing the most violent acts, they crying while they doing it because they so extreme. Like, why you got to do that? And they like, you don't know. I'm like, what? I don't know, because they can't even talk about it.
Yeah, they took their soul.
Say it again.
Took their soul.
Right.
Damn.